All right, let's pick up on a developing story that could have far-reaching implications for the game of cricket and definitely could have a significant impact on the game in the Caribbean. Now, earlier on Thursday, English media house The Daily Mail broke news that Indian Premier League franchise Mumbai Indians are gearing up to offer star pacer Jofra Archer a multi-million-pound year-long deal. This contract would mean that the Mumbai Indians and their parent body, Reliance Industries, would become the primary employer for the Barbadian-born player. According to the report, this deal would mean that the England and Wales Cricket Board would need permission to pick Archer for international duty. Our sources have revealed that IPL franchises are gearing up to offer similar deals to many players across the world, including West Indians. It's understood that IPL franchises who have satellite teams in other countries want greater control of key players to utilize them all year round. In some instances, we're told, players may be asked to forego international cricket. Closer to home, we further understand that Shimron Hetmar, who represents Rajasthan Royals in the IPL, is among the targeted players from the West Indies. There might even be a push to have him transfer from the Guyana Amazon Warriors to the Barbados Royals for this year's CPL campaign. Now, whether that push will be successful remains to be seen. A lot to unwrap and digest, and to help us do that, break it all down, is our international cricket correspondent Fazeer Mohammed. Faz, how are you doing? First of all, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while, as I was telling you off air, I seem to have gotten a bit grayer since the last time we spoke.
I won't say what I said off air, I'll just move on. What's your understanding of what's taking place here, and how is it all likely, you think, to impact the international cricketing landscape?
I think it's already being impacted. We've seen that over the last decade since the arrival of the IPL and the growth of so many franchises. And basically, it just comes down to this, Ricardo. Money talks, everything else walks, which includes legacy and history and tradition and everything else, especially when you don't emphasize the history of your own cricket, as we've done here in the West Indies. I mean, successive administrations at Cricket West Indies level had really paid scant courtesy to what it means to have the West Indies play cricket or play test match cricket, or even the legacy, which is now 95 years young. So it was bound to happen in the broader sense because, as we see happening in global football, this is a discussion and a debate and an argument that has been going on for decades, club versus country in the football environment, and rest assured it's going to be happening in the cricket environment.
Yeah, based on what we're seeing here and what we're hearing, so in the past, or as it stands now, what we have are franchise teams from around the world looking to acquire players for a short period, for a tournament. And then they move on to the next franchise and whatever the case may be, or the next tournament. Now we have a situation where the franchises are looking to have the players all year round. There was the question of NOCs, no objection certificates. From what you understand, how will this impact the no objection certificate, which means the national bodies essentially have to give permission as it stands now for players to play in these leagues?
And we've talked about this before. I don't see Cricket West Indies ever standing in the way of a player getting opportunities in those franchises, simply because our economy is so small. It's so tiny, can barely manage to pay the players what they're getting anywhere close to what they'll get in the franchise format. If it comes to the stage of basically them being owned by Mumbai or Rajasthan or whoever else, and therefore they have to get permission to play for the West Indies, now that might be a different issue. But again, at the end of the day, this is a situation that has been building for some time. When you look at the situation, people might say, well, you know, this could mean the death of Test cricket, or at least the death of Test cricket for the lower ranked teams, which include the West Indies. Well, it's already been dying. It's already been in intensive care for quite some time. With the exception of the big three, nobody plays 3 tests, 4 tests, 5 test series. You have to be satisfied with the one-off test and 2 test series and so on. So therefore, there's precious little opportunity for players in that format to really develop themselves and develop their skills. In one-day cricket, T20, there might be more opportunity with the West Indies. But if you get an environment, Ricardo, that is increasingly crowded by franchise formats, primarily owned by the Indian franchises, you know this is a tsunami and not going to stop.
Yeah, but Faz, you just referenced the football situation just now, where club versus country has been an issue for a while. But the world governing body for football ensures that players are obliged to represent their international teams, and whatever club they play for will have to release them when they're needed. But the story, as we are now getting it, the ICC doesn't appear to be having the clout to challenge this move, unlike what we see with FIFA.
Absolutely, Lance. And this is another topic that we've touched on quite regularly. The ICC is not a governing body. It is not a governing body.
What do they do? What do they do, Faz?
It's a glorified umbrella or glorified tent where the big wigs gather and sit on their three thrones, and the beggars like ourselves turn up to beg for favors. Like India coming to the Caribbean to play the 3 test matches or 2 test matches and ODIs and T20s, and therefore we get 20 million US. England coming at the end of the year, so their tourists, their visitors come and boost the economies a bit, and we get some television revenue. This is what it comes down to. So unlike FIFA, whether love them or loathe them, and you talk about the corruption, which are very, very relevant issues, FIFA governs the game. Whether it's for the good of the game is another discussion entirely. But the ICC does not govern the game. The ICC facilitates a hierarchical structure that takes us back to England, Australia, and now India, and to a lesser extent, England, Australia. So basically, what the power brokers want, the power brokers get, and the ICC just simply signs on the dotted line afterwards.
Yeah, given what is happening and given this latest development, Faz, and looking specifically at, let's say, the West Indies case, because we suspect that there might be a few players from the West Indies that these franchises would be looking at to say, let's give these players year-round contract. And it is probably more likely to affect our white ball cricket, both T20 and 50-over cricket, because those are the formats that you would expect a lot of these players to be involved in. Could it be, because at this stage we're still not 100% sure, are the IPL franchises saying we will allow you to play international cricket sometimes, or are they going to be saying, well, we just want you to play franchise cricket for us, we really don't care about whether you play international cricket or not? So depending on what the contracts say, might sway us one way or another. But could we get to a stage where boards, international cricket boards, whether it be West Indies, whether it be Bangladesh, whether it be Sri Lanka, will have to become significantly more flexible in their selection of international teams?
It's obvious. It's obvious. And there's no need to go tiptoeing around it, Ricardo, because I'm sure there are some players, maybe even West Indians, who are waiting for that call. They are saying, I am waiting for my year-round contract, and to hell with the West Indies, because I'm fed up of this treatment and I'm fed up of this, that, and the other. So essentially, to answer your specific question, it's going to reach a situation where the players feel so comfortable in this environment, so well treated, so well regarded, compared to how they would regard the way they're treated by Cricket West Indies or the territorial organizations and so on, that it's really a no-brainer from their point of view. And yes, many who are greying like myself, who will talk about the rich legacy of West Indies cricket and what it means to play for the West Indies, many of those players will say, look, that doesn't pay the bills. That doesn't deal with the issues associated with being an elite level performer. So I see it the way it's going, as if it's almost inevitable that you're going to have that situation. And the Cricket West Indies have been very, very flexible over these many years of the IPL and other franchises. Now they're going to have to bend over so far backwards that they'll be setting a new world record for the limbo.
Faz, you've just set a new world record for the talk of the year. But yeah, it is a significant development that we are looking at here. And of course, at this stage, essentially, we wait to see who are the names that come out. We've already heard Jofra Archer from England, Alex Hales, his name has come up as well. As you said, Shimron Hetmyer, his name has been bandied about as well. And who knows, many other regional players. So we just wait to see where that will go. Match 56 is what we had in the Tata IPL today between Rajasthan Royals and the Kolkata Knight Riders. The Royals snapped their 3-match losing streak with a comprehensive 9-wicket win. And these are the scores from that encounter. The Knight Riders 149 for 8. Venkatesh 57 from 42 deliveries. He was substituted. Chahal picking up 4 for 25. And Rajasthan Royals in reply 151 for 1 of 13.1 overs. Jaiswal getting 98 not out. Had a pretty slow start to his IPL career, but hasn't he been brilliant this year? 98 not out from 47 deliveries. Samson getting 48 from 29, and the Rajasthan Royals winning by 9 wickets. This is how it leaves the Indian Premier League table then. The Gujarat Titans at the top with the Chennai Super Kings in second. The Royals now in third on 12 points, same as the Mumbai Indians, but the Royals have played a game more with Lucknow Super Giants in fifth on 11 points, and they have 3 more games to go. The Royal Challengers Bangalore on 10, the Kolkata Knight Riders on 10, the Punjab Kings on 10, and look at the Sunrisers Hyderabad as well. They have 8 points, but they have all of 4 matches to go because they have only played 10, so they could get to 16 points and be in the shake-up if they can somehow win their 4 remaining games in the competition. Remember, the top 4 teams qualify for the playoffs. The top 2 to play for a spot in the final, with the loser playing the winner of the 3rd and 4th place positions for the 2nd spot in the championship match on May 28th, which, by the way, is on SportsMax. Match 57 between the Mumbai Indians and the leaders Gujarat Titans will be live on SportsMax and SportsMax Cricket, which you can find on the app. Catch the action Friday, that's at 9 a.m. in Jamaica, 10 in the rest of the Caribbean. And news just coming in, by the way, that I want to bring our viewers up to date with. The West Indies squads for the UAE Tour and for the World Cup qualifiers named a short while ago. Now, the players who are involved in the Indian Premier League have been given the go-ahead by Cricket West Indies to rest following the IPL, so they will return home for a short period before travelling to Zimbabwe, which means they will miss the 3-match one-day international series against the UAE. As such, the squad for that series will be captained by the regular man Shea Hope, but Brandon King, in the absence of Rovman Powell, will be the vice-captain. A first-time ODI call-up for Alec Athanas. Shamar Brooks is in there, Yannick Correa, Casey Carty, Roston Chase, Dominic Drakes, Kavem Hodge, Hakeem Jordan, Gudakesh Moti, Keema Paul gets a recall to the West Indies squad. There's also Raymond Reefer in that setup. Odin Smith is in that setup as well, and so is Devon Thomas. And then there's a squad for the World Cup qualifiers. Shea Hope as captain, Rovman Powell vice-captain, Shamar Brooks, Yannick Correa, Casey Carty, Roston Chase, Jason Holder, Akil Hussain, Alzara Joseph, Brandon King, Cal Mears, Gudakesh Moti. Keema Paul is in the World Cup qualifying squad as well. I find that to be significant. There is Nicholas Puran and Romario Shepherd. Just a quick reaction from Faz. If anything jumped out at you, especially from the squad for the World Cup qualifying tournament, Faz?
Yeah, and you look at that squad that would have been named, and again, it reflects that compromise that you were just talking about, that situation where you basically have to work with the realities. A long IPL. Players need a break. There could be burnout. No disrespect to the UAE, of course, but it's about, again, recognizing that the players are looking towards their revenue as well. So there are going to be numerous opportunities for lots of players with the way things are going in international cricket. The West Indies, yet again, let's not overlook that, having to play the qualifiers to get to a World Cup, having been the inaugural winners in 75 and 79, losing finalists in 83, but more than 40 years on, this is where we are, and these are the realities that we have to face now. So we may be debating about who's selected or who's not selected, and don't be surprised that even before the team leaves for Zimbabwe, you hear about someone maybe pulling out or being unavailable for personal reasons, because this seems to be the new wave and the new trend when it comes to West Indies cricket teams.
Faz, I just love how you are the eternal optimist. By the way, we hear that Cricket West Indies will announce the members of the coaching staff tomorrow. I don't know if you have any inside information. The Cricket West Indies CEO, Johnny Grave, told us to be patient and wait until they're released when we try to get some inside information today. So I don't know if you have been able to get anything, Faz.
Someone as old and as weary as I am would really venture in that direction. Other than to say, I know there's speculation here that Darren Sammy might be in consideration as the two-time captain and winner of the World T20 title, that his name has come up in the discussion. But as I said, we don't have long to wait, and we just have to wait and see who they come up with. And you know there's going to be a lot of speculation and a lot of reaction to whoever those names are. Yeah,
Darren Sammy seems to be a popular name in the equation. Faz, thanks very much for chatting with us today, and for sure we'll be chatting more in the coming days, weeks and months, because there will be a lot of cricket to discuss, and West Indies cricket specifically. Take care, Faz.
Take care.
All right, we go to a break. We'll be back with more on the SportsMax Zone.